Court of the Edijester. How are we all, good people? It's good to be speaking to you once again, here from Jester Central. Right. Become a warrior teacher, November. Yep. Buy your coffee, usual stuff. Let's get on with it. Right, so, some terrible things going on Twitter today. I've seen it. What's happening in Amsterdam. I think we're in serious trouble as a nation if we do not watch what's going on and learn very quickly from it. We've had Trump this last week. Trumpity Trump. That's all going on. But I wonder what the hell how'd you follow that? That's the trouble. It's like if you do, if you're a content creator, as one is, the trouble is, how'd you follow that? That's what I've been stuck with. So I thought, well, bloody hell, what am I going to follow it with? I have to have a look, see what we got's going on. So I thought, well, who's always worth a finger at the bum? Stonewall. So we're going to have a look at Stonewall. See, as you can see there on the screen, look, yep, Stonewall. And we'll see what's been happening to them, because they've been having a spot of bother of their own, which is rather glorious. So we're going to begin with an article from tfn.scot, right? Okay, which is a website, which I'll put all the links are in the doobers as usual. It's interesting because this is about the Stonewall Gala dinner, which is where all the loons get together and pat each other on the back, right? So it's one of those things, isn't it? Well, we'd like to congratulate best fake knob, Yep. Best internal screwing of an organisation. Yep. Best critical social justice poster. And the award goes to, it's one of those, right? Glitz and glamour, and lots of look-a-particular nut jobs, right? So here we have this article. Ta-da! Stonewall's annual equality dinner is a glitzy event bringing in huge donations from wealthy individuals and organisations in support of LGBTQ rights. No strangers to protest themselves, Stonewall has often attracted crowds outside its events. Various shades of bigotry rear their ugly heads in an attempt to drown out progress. But this year's event was very different, as Stonewall gathered with famous faces and the uber-rich, who had paid upwards of 10 grand per table for the privilege. 10 grand per table to go and sit and have Stonewall lecture you on nonsense. Who do it? And biggest mug of the night is Esso, who took 8 tables. Right? £10,000 per table for the privilege. They gathered outside the De Vere Grand Connaught Rooms in London's Covent Garden. See, they don't do it cheap here, is it? It's not like welcome to the Birmingham Travel Lodge. They spend the money that you give them, you morons, right? Instead of the usual anti-LGBTQ+ slogans, misinformation and outright prejudice often will show outside its events. Nonsense. There was something which would have been all more concerning for Stonewall bosses, a show of solidarity with Progress Pride flags interspersed with the Palestinian flag as LGBTQ+ and anti-war activists gathering to share a simple message. End your relationship with arms dealers. I love it. They're quite happy to cut up kids, but they're worried about arms dealers. That's how mental they are. And you can see a picture there. You see as I bring the picture up there. Look, see? Loons. Okay, now, this is the best bit. Queers for Palestine. QFP was founded in October 2023, shortly after the ramping up of attacks and genocidal rhetoric from the Israeli government in Palestine. These people are nuts. Genocidal rhetoric. Describing themselves as a group of queers committed to the struggle for a just world, free of settler colonialism, Zionism and capitalism. Can you imagine? They get chucked off a building. We should gather them all up. We need a big scoop. Do you know? Do you remember Soylent Green with Charlton Heston? Where they had the big scoop and they scoop the people up. We just need a big scoop, right? Then we drop them in a big skip. And we put the skip on the back of a big plane. And then we just drop the skip. In Iran, okay? Or somewhere like that. We can send them there, can't we? Hey? Oh, they have focused their energies on opposing pinkwashing, the promotion of LGBTQ+ rights as a strategy to divert attention from an organisation's human rights violations. So what they're saying is here that Stonewall are violators of human rights. I mean, what goes around comes around. Oh, it's glorious. Stonewall is the latest group to come under scrutiny after its relationships with armed dealers came to the fore. The last week also saw demonstrations demanding that Stonewall cut ties with arms manufacturers organised by queer groups in Brighton, Bristol, Cardiff, Birmingham and Glasgow. Is a queer group one person? Never mind. BAE Systems, Raytheon and Northrop Grumman, numbers 1, 2 and 4 on the list of the world's largest weapon manufacturers, all proudly describe themselves as Stonewall diversity champions. We're an equal opportunities bomber. Oh, it's hilarious. Stonewall even listed BAE as one of its top 100 best employers for LGBTQ plus people in 2024, an accolade they have repeatedly been handed, and brag of its close relationship with the charity on its website. At the Queers for Palestine protest, the demands on Stonewall clear. Immediately end relationship with BAE Systems, Raytheon and Northrop Grumman. Immediately end relationship with any other manufacturers. Develop a transparent and public ethical partnership policy that includes a commitment to start working with arms manufacturers in the future. So this is a bunch of LGBTQ plus nut jobs, right? Left nut jobs. Who are coming together to ask Stonewall to make the world a less safe place. Especially for them, under regimes in which they'd be chucked off a building or hung from a crane in public to die. That's how mental they are now, right? That's how mental. I've got a friend who supports this shit. I'm like, what, are you a nut? Brilliant. An open letter from Queers... go away. An open letter to Stonewall from Queers for Palestine, echoing those demands, has been signed by over 150 queer groups. 150 queer groups. I wonder who they are. Should we have a look? See if I can open it up. Dear Simon, we have three demands. Our siblings in Palestine, Lebanon and beyond. There you go, look. And look, right, so here we go. Here's a list of people, look. Bender Defenders, Birmingham Queers for Palestine, Brighton and Hove Unite, the Union. Butch Lineages. Camp Trans Catnip. Oh, we've got the Common Press, Dalston Superstore. What the hell are they doing, these people? Dogs and their dykes. Drag Down the Borders, the Dyke Collective of Brighton, the Dyke Project. This is insane. Fag Revolt. Who are these people? Gendered Intelligence Staff Union. Iman, look up at QI plus. Little Gay Brother, Manchester, No Pride in Genocide. They've just gone right. Let's right to 50 of us people we know. Just get them to set up something quick. The Naz and Matt Foundation, One Foot in the Rave. God, I mean, such prestigious organisations. The Pride Library, Queers of Queens of Peckham. That sounds like a really cheap Channel 5 murder mystery programme. Queens of Peckham, Queer Bowlers, Queer Youth Art Collective. Isn't that the one that pissed on themselves? I can't remember. Reading Queers for Palestine. Swarm, T-Boys Club, Transactual. They're on there, look, see? Eh? Honest to God. Really? Really? Is that where we are? But here's the interesting bit for me, right? After all that and all this fussing and all this nonsense, Stonewall's equality dinner may now be coming to an end. We understand that after a huge reduction in the amount of money raised, the charity has decided not to hold the event again in 2025. But a worrying precedent was set. Good. The sooner Stonewall, along with Mermaids, Proud Trust and all these other absolute nonsense merchants are closed down, the better for everybody concerned, as far as I'm concerned. This, as a peaceful demonstration was held by grassroots LGBTQ activists outside a swanky London venue, police were called and 8 vans deployed to dampen protests. Isn't that extraordinary? Isn't that absolutely extraordinary? Stonewall get together to have a chinwag and there's 8 police vans. Women on the street protesting. 1. It's just surreal, right? And what does it say here? This cannot be dismissed as a minority issue in the workplace either, or one which senior management are not aware of. TFN understands that Stonewall was so concerned about the protest and they had to warn their own staff against attending to save themselves even further embarrassment. It's just go and have a read. It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's what I want to see. Less Stonewall, the happier I am. And less Stonewall, the better off we'll all be. It's not complicated, okay? So go do a thing. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.